Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to talk about the new Vision card, new Master Ability 2s, and a little tinfoil hat theory crafting about what's coming to Global maybe next week, maybe the week after, based on some kindergarten level. We'll call it first grade level. I give myself first grade credit. First grade level detective skills. I do want to start with the new Vision card, just real quick. If you don't know what this is a dark magic card. The thing to shout out is that Dark Fina is getting magic up and ability activation time on her attack spells down as a global upgrade. Besides that, this is what the card looks like, right? A lot of HP, has some spirit, a big chunk of magic on there. It's going to give AoE resistance and spirit penetration to the unit wearing it. Pay special attention to the spirit penetration there, especially when we move on to talk about Rain's Master Ability 2 here in a minute. Party effects, you're going to get 50% magic up for your dark units with Dex up, which will help you do some more crits and, a little bit more accuracy, and then 20 missile resist is good. Overall, I think this is a very nice card. If you are playing Dark Fina, I think you should probably go for the card. If you're not playing Dark Fina, I mean, it's not a must-have card in my opinion, but if you're a Dark player, hey, here's a Vision card. Maybe we'll get a 2K paid banner for it or something like that. Now, I want to go back into the client for a minute here and let's do the tinfoil hat theory. Okay, we have a limited guild battle coming out, right? And in this limited guild battle, if we look at the buff, it's defense up and wind unit missile attack up. Now, there's been talk amongst other YouTubers in the comments section. I think maybe the development team mentioned something on a live stream about wanting another Jaden type unit in the game. We've also been anticipating a global exclusive unit or global first unit, whatever the heck you want to call them. I would not be surprised to see a wind-based magic missile unit. And I don't mean like magic missile like, mages in D&D. I mean like a Jaden type wind unit as our next global first unit. That's kind of my theory here. And I'm going to back that theory up by talking about the batch of Master Ability 2s we're getting this week. We are getting Rain, Fina, and Uni, and Laswell, I believe, was or at least came with Rain in JP, or at least that's what some people are saying, and it would make sense for Laswell to be getting his Master Ability 2 soon as well, unless he's an ice unit and the new global unit is wind, and you don't want to put an ice unit out, because you see where I'm going here? You see where the blocks are stacking on top of each other a little bit? So that's my little tinfoil hat right there. Now, Porcelain Tower's also coming back. I didn't really understand this when I did the news video yesterday, but I believe this is because with Rain getting his Master Ability 2, they're going to give the +1 to Rain Sword, and then it all makes sense. That's why we're getting the Tower rerun, to be able to get another copy of Rain Sword. Okay, so let's jump into Rain. I want to start the discussion in the Master Ability 2s with him. He's the UR unit getting the upgrade this week, and it's actually really good on paper. His previous Master Ability was just Spirit +15, which again, when Rain came out, this was plenty good. He was a great magic tank back in the day. He's still a good magic tank, and 15 Spirit helped him in that regard. He will now get the HP and fire attack buff for his group, which really will help him in like fire chaining teams. He is a top tier fire chaining unit for PvE. That buff will be nice for his whole group. He's also getting tankier. He's picking up 10% more HP for just himself, and crucially 15 AoE resist. Stacking AoE resist, especially if you're trying to fight mages, is a very good way of being tanky, but is this enough to make Rain like a top tier unit again? If we look at his kit, what Rain is going to need to do to become like a great tank is, yes, he's going to want to stack Spirit, and he has the tools to do that right here, right? He's also going to want to stack his AoE resist. He can get another 15 here with just his Master Ability and Knight's Pride. He's at 30, and that's pretty good. And then you can get some magic resistance right here as well. The thing with Rain is there is a lot of spirit penetration in the game right now. There's magic attack resistance penetration in the game now a lot more than before. So while these buffs are really good for Rain, and while I definitely think it will make him playable, I think think that his kit is still a little bit old, and then Rain also always has suffered, in my opinion, from the fact that if you want him to tank, you kind of have to run him in his Knight of Grandshelt sub so he can give himself that 30% shield, which will help him be tanky, and the 12 hate. Like, this is where he gets his aggro. Now, for damaging moves, Rain's great. Like, as a tank, he's going to be able to bring some pain. He can AoE slow, he can reduce movement, soul prominence hits like a truck. So he's going to still be a good unit. I still think that his best use is going to be in PvE chaining teams for fire, but you know I'm going to try and make a comp with him because I really like to play Terra. I have like a Terra Rain, maybe like classy glassy comp if I could figure out how their buffs work. Kind of another drawback of Rain is AoE buffs. He doesn't really bring AoE buffs to the group. You just kind of put his shield on himself, maybe have him use a TMR to buff. You just have to be a little bit more clever with him. He still feels a little old to me, but overall I do think the master ability 2 is a nice upgrade for him. Now his sword is getting a buff, and this sword, I was talking about his damage earlier and his PvE potential. This sword is called Give Rain More Magic. The +6 or the +1, because it's just this +6 of this is just +1. It's going to gain 34 more magic on the base stat pool, so there's more magic. Then the defense down on basic attack doesn't change, the slash attack doesn't change. It's just 30% more magic. So Rain is just getting more damage put into him with his sword, so he's getting tankier with his master ability 2, more damage from his sword, and he gains those elemental passives. So I really do think Rain got some good treatment here. If you're a Rain fan, he's super playable for PvP and continues to be a king of PvE fire teams. Okay, next up, Fina, a unit who needed no love. Fina was already a cost 60 goddess, she's just more so now. Her previous master ability was Dex 15%, Magic Resist 25, which is decent for an MR unit. She will now give her light allies 10% HP and blind resistance 25 to her group. The Dex and Magic Resist are staying the same. She will then gain 20 accuracy for herself. 20 accuracy is nice on a master ability, honestly. And then activation time down 200. This is not a huge buff for her, but it is 20 more accuracy, it's faster casting of spells, and more HP for your entire light group. Fina was already super good, right? Like, if you're playing cost limited light, she was already such a good option. She's just a little bit stronger today than she was yesterday, so continue to work Fina into your PvP teams. She is great. And then Uni, a unit who slides under the radar. At cost 40, Uni can do some really, really good things. If we go to the... There we go, I gotta reload the page. If we go to her master ability upgrade, previously, she had 30% HP for herself, but she still has no HP because she's an SR unit. She's gonna die in one shot. But she did get resistance 10 to all of them. This never really made sense for her. It didn't add much to what she can do. Now, though, she gets AP consumption down 30, which is nice, and 20% agility buff that removes after 2 hits received. This is very nice for her kit. If we look at Uni's stats, definitely one of her weaknesses, if we look at her max stats, was her agility was at 54. This agility buff to her will be nice, move that agility number up a bit. Like if we compare that to global, it was 46. So now it is 54, which 54 is still slow, but it's a heck of a lot better than 46. The reason Uni is pretty good is because she can do kind of cool things. If we look at her job level 25 ability, it is a massive range. The range on this is absolutely nuts. It's range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It can hit from 8 spots away. That's before you add range up modifiers to it. And arrow fall, even though it doesn't do a lot of damage, nullifies haste and quicken for the targets, immune C chi change for targets, and dispels their haste. So all of those should, like, there is so much haste and quicken in the game right now with like Lemures and Velis out here just, it made Oberon's TMR more useful, right? This makes Uni in a super cost limited situation where 40 costs, you kind of need that. She could be useful in that regard, but that's really kind of it. She's still just going to be kind of niche for those debuffs. She does have the single target resistance debuff as well, and you can increase her range by 2 right here, meaning she can hit from a mile away with a big AoE haste debuff. That's really what she's going to bring, though. He's still uni. I'm sorry, he is still uni. There we go. Okay, so that's it for the Master Ability 2s and new Vision cards this week. That's my prediction on the global exclusive with the Wind Jaden basically coming around. Maybe it will be an FFBE crossover unit. They do like to do that. If you have a theory on who that may be, you FFBE players out there, do let me know about that in the comments. And we have a bonus account review coming up, so let's jump to that next. And today's bonus account review comes to us from Relentless Zen, aka Stream Hero. You've probably seen Stream Hero hanging out in YouTube. He's a mod in the YouTube chat when I'm live, and just, in the YouTube comment section on the Discord, all of that stuff. So let's check out the account. We've got a rank 154 player, been playing since the beginning of the game, Royal rank 8. So typically, I talked to Stream Hero just now, kind of editing this in there, likes to stick to about a $50 a month model with the game, also plays in JP, but does not spend in JP anymore because the global version is actually more affordable than the JP version. So he said something like, maybe a couple $1,000s over the entire course of the game. So there you go, and you're sitting at Royal rank 8. Just lucked out on the free tickets for the Vision card. Sent me some screenshots of that. Here's what he's working on every day in terms of character quests. So going with some big ticket items, Knight of Ruincern, King Mont, Joom, and Velis, all 100 cost units, and then Varouche just for fun because play Wind, Wind's awesome, and Varouche is cool. Then for Vision cards, working on these right here. Really like a lot of these, especially if Counter of Heroes. If you want to play Fire, Great Stag is good. Typhoon is a favorite of mine. So yeah, working on some good Vision cards and units. Here's the Guild Barracks. So again, some big ticket items in here with the Esther, Joom, and Velis, and then almost done with Summer Elsie and Resnick. So working on some good stuff in the barracks, and at like $50 a month, playing for a long time. One thing Stream Hero has done is, played smart and done some grinding. So working on some good units right there. Checking out Fire. Now, we saw that the Rain's Vision card in Counter of Heroes was being worked on. The Rain Terra combo is very good, especially with Rain getting all the Master Ability 2 buffs and his sword getting that +1. Just need one more thing to kind of pair with them. You are working on King Mont right now. That makes a good option. I wouldn't mind any other big damage unit. It's really effective to have Terra plus a Setia, or Terra plus a Valentine's Day Ildira if you could catch her. Some big ticket DPS unit, even Classy Glassy would pair really nicely with them if you were looking for the 3-man PvP team right there. With Ice, your Ice account's looking really good. Very ready for Agrius if you're going for Agrius. Obviously, keep working on the Velis. Velis is a PvP god, right? So keep working on him. But your slash chaining is really on point. I would 120 the Velric, honestly, if you were concerned about going for really high scores with Ice slashing teams. I think Velric would be a great addition to Ornn, Aranea, Laswell, Gilgamesh. Yeah, that'd be real nice. Okay, for Wind, your Wind is looking a lot better once your Joom gets to 120. Now, here's what I'll say about Wind. 120 Joom plus a healer. You have the Ayaka, which is maybe a little bit less good than the Halloween Little Leela, but Ayaka can still get the job done. You compare those two with a strong DPS unit, and you have a decent PvP squad right there. What I really like to do with Wind is Joom plus a healer plus a couple DPS units for PvE like Nightmare level teams. Joom is such a good Nightmare level tank, so I would work on getting get your Sorel up there, and then one more DPS unit. You're working on the Varouche, that could do it. I really like to run Wind in PvE, so that's what I would look for your Wind squad right there. Earth, yeah, that's a skip. You're skipping Earth. Continue to skip Earth. It's all good. Lightning. Okay, you have the Charlotte and the Cloud at 120, two very big ticket units. You have the Resnick almost at 120. She would pair very nicely there. You're working on the Esther. That's the obvious pairing, I think. And once you get that Esther up there, you can always go like Esther Cloud Resnick for like a double bruiser, really high damage combo with the backup healing and support of Resnick. Obviously, a very good account candidate for Lightning or Orlando with the upcoming collaborations. Okay, Water. You have the power PvP combo with Astrius and Celis, and a really well-developed Water account, like a ton of 120 units. Farm would be the one that I would say if you wanted to do a little bit more slash chaining for PvE. I really like to use Farm. Glassy is very good for PvE with her like triple hit attacks. So both of those I'd kind of work on, but otherwise, I mean, your water's looking great. You could do a ton of stuff with water. Light, kind of the same deal. You have the big ticket, like cost limited UR options in Engelbert and Sakura leveled. Sakura is a monster. For like cost 70, she's a monster. You have Yuna, Locke, Warrior of Light, Elsrel. You can do whatever you want with Light. Obviously, Starlight Elena is the missing piece here, but if you don't have her, you don't have her. So, I mean, you know, that's the thing. And honestly, I wouldn't kill myself going for her. I would save for other things. That's the rest of Light. There's a Jaden and a Ramza. Ram's only 55. Ram's only 55. Come on, get that Rams up there. Okay, Dark. Not a Dark focus account. Do have the Ruinstern and Black Rose Helena working their way up there. They'll be nice to have, but honestly, like, Dark, I would say focus on other elements still. I mean, Lemire's a great option if you can level her up, but you don't have the Leela. The you know, high dollar Leela. You got Walmart Leela, but you don't have Target Leela, or you know, insert name brand clothing store Leela. You got the regular one, or Joker. So I don't know, Dark wouldn't be a focus for me here. But if you want to make a Dark PvE team, continue to work on these 2 units, and then if you catch any big ticket Dark units later, you'll have a nice squad to add them to. Okay, weapons. You've done a really good job getting +5 weapons. You see a page here, another page here of +5s, so good work there. You did mention that books are a limiting factor for you when you continue to run out of books. Yeah, it happens. It definitely happens, so you got to continue to just keep farming those out. No big deal. You obviously have enough stuff right now to continue to level those up, and then make sure you get Rain's Sword to its +1 with this Tower rerun. There's another page of some weapons you're working on. Armor, again, good job with armor, farming this out. I see a lot of raid gear, winter coat, Galmea coat, plat helm, black garb. You got plenty of evasion stuff right here for your evasion teams. Knight armor, plenty of armor of lights, so clearly willing to put the farming in. Same deal with accessories, right? 2 orange sunglasses, Alex ring, Shinra bangle. Looking good. Looking good on accessories and armor. Just continue to get those books and work on that stuff. Okay, vision cards. Here's a page of level 99s. Here's a second page, so 2.1, we'll call it 2.1 pages of level 99 VCs. What are you working on? What should you continue to work on? Okay, get Typhoon to 99. This is one of the better cards out there, especially you're a wind player, right? You're getting that Joom up there, get that Typhoon up there as well. Encounter of Heroes, continue to work on. Shiva for Rainbow Evade. I don't hate that at all. Let's see, what else you're working on here? Glassy's card. I don't know if this card is super great anymore. If you're working on this actively, I might pivot to another one. Diablos is particularly good for dark versus light teams. If you ever want to run that, level Diablos, obviously. And then back here, you do have like the Brachiosaur card. If you do catch a Setia or a Valentine's Day Salir, you will want to get that card leveled up. So that's something to keep an eye on. Those are the cards I'd work on. That's what I'd go for if I was your account working on some stuff. And then, you know, continue to just catch the new VCs as you can. Let's go to Espers. Okay, so Espers, you know what you're doing. You played for a long time. You have a bunch of leveled Espers. Let's look for the big ticket ones. Love Demon Wall, love Bahamut. You know, 2 of the better Espers in the game right there. Like the Maniple for your Ice Squad. There's Odin at 99. I would say the missing piece here is Dark Odin, but he's in the game forever. Eventually, you'll get lucky and Dark Odin will come home. And then there's some stuff you're still working on leveling. Yep, cool. Just level at your leisure when you get those Magicites. Here's some recipes of stuff you wanted to show off that you're working on. The Azure Dragon Armor, Brigandine. You already had one of these made. This is one of the best armors in the game. It just continues to be awesome. I can't wait for what the +6 of that's going to look like. So yeah, continue to work on the stuff that you're working on here. Trust Stones. Now here's what I'll say about Trust Stones. If you are leveling and investing heavily into Trust Stones, I think you should literally only do that for pinks. I think there, in my opinion, for me, there's only 2 colors of Trust Stones that I ever really put on gear. Pinks and greens. If I just care about the set bonus and I want to be super lazy, greens, they're the easiest. You farm 1 billion of those a day. If I care about going for like min-maxing and making my squads better, I will go for pinks. I trade my purples up to pinks with that like monthly limit. And so I like the thing, if I was nitpicking something, right? What I would nitpick is the leveled up yellow and purple trust stones. I would just spend my resources on the pinks. That's me. Now let's look at what you're putting them on. I think you're doing smart TMRs, right? Ayaka's boots are very good, especially if they're on a unit who will make use of the heal and status effect removal. I love string. Bells is obviously great. Katone's TMR for that move buff. So I think you're investing into smart trust masters. I would just continue to build out your pink trust stone sets. That's where I'd put my energy, honestly, right there. So there you go, Stream Hero. Thank you so much for always supporting my channel, both as a mod, as a YouTube member, and thank you for watching the video, everybody. I will catch you all next time. Peace.